Good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to the 72nd Emerging Growth Conference and day one of our two-day super virtual investor conference. I'm Anna Berry. Just a few notes for those attending. Today, we're running until about 4 p.m. Eastern. And when we switch to the next company, you might see a black screen for a moment. Don't go anywhere. That's just us moving over to the next presenter. If you do experience downtime, refresh your browser. Everything usually works properly once you do that. And our platform does work best on Google Chrome. So if you're watching from an Apple device, you have to hit the play button to start the session. All of our conferences, they're uploaded to the Emerging Growth Conference YouTube channel. So please subscribe at youtube.com/Emerging Growth Conference. Now, today, during each company's presentation, you can submit questions through the webcast module, and the presenters will attempt to address as many of these at the end of their presentation. Let's begin. We are starting off with Perfect Corp. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol PERF and works with over 600 partners around the globe to empower brands to embrace the digital-first world by transforming shopping journeys through digital tech innovations. Please welcome its EVP CSO, Louis Chen. Welcome to the conference today, Louis.
Thank you, Anna. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Really glad to be the first speaker of this conference. And today I would like to share with you a little bit about our company, Perfect Corp, how we're using AI and AR technology to help beauty brands and fashion brands in the digital shopping journey. So to kick it off, Perfect Corp, it is a SaaS company. So we develop software as a service, very much focused for vertical for beauty and fashion. The company has been around for 9 years. And it has been public since late 2022. So again, transforming the world with AI innovation is our vision. The company today is about 320 professionals around the world. The development center and headquarters is situated here in Taipei, Taiwan. And then we have teams across the globe. The second largest site outside of Taiwan is our US site. Between New York and San Jose, we have about 30 employees there, mostly business developers, project managers, and marketing folks. Also, we are geographically strategically located in London, Paris, and Tokyo, which a lot of beauty companies, a lot of our clients are situated. So we work very closely with them to help empower their digital experience. So to help you understand, what we are trying to solve is the modern beauty and fashion consumer demands and desires. Here on the slide, you see some of the very typical use cases where the beauty brand, a young beauty shopper who comes to looking for beauty style, they often have a question about, what is the best style for me? Can I try it? How do I, know more about the state of my skin? So across all these different demands and desire, you can think of us as creating a whole family on a platform that we call the Beauty for AI platform that has solutions for skin diagnosis. For beauty AI, it's about foundation finders, about virtual try-on for makeup products. And I will show you some of the use cases of how the beauty brands or the retailers are using our solution already in their shopping journeys. And in more recent years, we expanded into fashion AI. That is included accessories such as eyewears, watches, and jewelries. And then more recently, of course, investment more in generative AI to help the brands or the consumer produce really amazing visual images and other use cases. To help you understand a little bit better about our company, last year, our revenue on top line was around $54 million. And about 50% of that came from B2B channel and another 50% from B2C. So it's very quite unique. We have this hybrid business model where we are able to monetize our technology in two different ways. On the B2B side, as I mentioned, it is a SaaS model. We're on a recurring license model as a subscription to beauty brands globally, whether that's across makeup, skincare, hair, or fashion tags. On the B2C side, we have a family of app under the franchise of YouCam, so YouCam Makeup or YouCam Perfect and more. And this is a freemium model where consumer can download it and unlock all the premium feature for free for 7 days. At the end of the trial period, if they like to keep the apps or the enhanced features, they will pay around $39 a year for the subscription or $5 a month. If they choose not to pay, they can continue to use the product with a lighter version with a limited functionality. So this is really a core part of our business to monetize, and not only to monetize, but we're able to pilot and test bed every new technology very fast on the B2C because this is our own community. We're able to do that updating our app every 3 to 4 weeks. So very quickly to roll out new technology, we can test that. It's around 13 million monthly active users on our B2C apps. And I'll show you some metrics just in a moment. So on the B2B side, I think this is where the type of client that we serve. So this big logo that you see here on the screen are our customers for many, many years now, and it continues to grow. Up to now, we are serving about 665 brands across the world. And accumulated, we have about 745,000 makeup product SKUs that people can try. This is actually the largest beauty product database in the world that people can try virtually with AR technology and continue to grow organically. Here in the chart, you see a little bit the historical trend, how we have been performing. On the left-hand side is the number of brands on our platforms. As of the most recent reported quarter, we have now 666 brands already on this platform. And on average, it grows about 20 to 30 new brands every quarter net. On the right-hand side, another metric that we track very closely is the number of SKUs that we are able to offer to our consumers so they can try everything from lipstick to eyeliner to foundation, eyeshadow, and the entire family of beauty products. So now we have over 745,000 SKUs and continues to grow organically very, very nicely. A glimpse on the B2C apps. As I mentioned, this is under the YouCam franchise. So here you see the key apps. The majority part of the revenue are generated from the first two apps. On the left, YouCam Makeup and YouCam Perfect. So this is the makeover app. It's the most popular makeover app in the market. And also the YouCam Perfect, which is a powerful selfie camera editor. So one thing that we track very closely is the number of active subscribers. Those users who opt in to pay for a subscription, as I said, of around $39 per year. So here you can see as our last reported quarter, we have a little bit over 900,000 active paying subscribers. And about 90% of those paying subscribers are opting to be an annual plan. So this gives us a confidence that this is a high frequency use case. If the user end up choosing to pay for a premium app, they will always pay annual instead of a monthly. And you can see here the growth rate in the last 2 or 3 years has been really quite phenomenal and continue to grow very, very well. So just going a little bit about the challenges that we encountered and what we help the brand to solve. To start, if you look traditionally, the beauty industry, they rely very heavily on physical sampling. So they know when the people try more, they will end up buying more, especially it's so abundance of different colors and different SKUs that the woman can choose. And it's always a challenge, which is the right shade for my skin tone, which is the right style for me. And because of whether there is no available tester or there's sanitary concern, that's typically one of the pain point for consumer when they're choosing a beauty products. Since we incorporated in 2015, we introduced this concept of virtual try-on, so you can try before you buy using an iPad or your iPhone, just using technology with super accurate facial tracking with the true to real texture and colors effects. So it really helps the brand increase engagement sales. And it's very safe, it's clean, it's efficient. So AI has been infused in beauty tech since day one. And we were the very first pioneer to really think about how machine learning can be helpful in this use case, right? So we were not the very first one to do virtual try-on, but we were the first company to incorporate AI machine learning technology into virtual try-on. And that really made us a big leap against any competitor in the market. And 9 years later, now we are becoming a dominant player. So clearly, there were 6 or 7 other competitors back then, but most of them went out of the business or just move out and do something else. We didn't stop there. We continue to expand our AI offering by integrating in different generations. And you see here in the timelines, around every year or every 2, there's always a new model of AI. Of course, most recently, people talk about a lot in generative AI. But it's not just that. We have been investing in AI technology all this time. So let me show you some of the recent client success so you better understand how these are implemented. For example, Walmart is one of our retail partners in the US. And if you go to download the Walmart apps and you go to the shop, the beauty category, now you see these new options, say try it now. So here on the video, for example, if you're browsing this product and you say have a try on app button, when the consumer tap on that, the camera will turn on. And immediately users have a digital mirror that they can see themselves in the app and they can try the color that they were already shopping or looking for to shop. So the experience is very quick, it's very seamless, And this improve a lot the basket size, the conversion, because consumer can have a better expectation if the color will actually match my style. To give you another example, Amazon is also our partners. So here in the Amazon app, when you are trying to look, for example, a manicure product for your nails, here we use our AI technology to track and locate the movement, the location of your fingers and the nails, and able to do a real-time rendering of the different nail polish or different effects. Another example here is how Estée Lauder, which is also one of our key customers, they use our technology, for example, MAC. So here in one touch, consumer can try the full look. So it's not just the eyeshadow, the palette, and the lipstick and different texture. They can try that all at the same time. And not only that, we are offering this start tutorial process. So now that you like this look and you like to understand what's the right step, which is the right product and the right techniques to create this look, you can see here on the demonstration video that the consumer can visually see step-by-step with a voice narration, which product, which type of brushes, and you can always pause and rewind or fast forward. So really to help you master the techniques for applying different looks. Every week, the artists will come in with the new looks, and this is a new way to engage with the consumer when they're shopping for beauty. Other example here is how we partner with Gucci, for example, and with Cartier. So for example, if you are browsing a media, and it comes not just as a video ad or a banner ads, now you have the option to turn on the camera directly from the ads unit. So consumer will be able to try, for example, the lip color here from Gucci, and if she can press on shop now, you go to Sephora to buy it. Or here in another example, you have Cartier, where we have the watches example, so you can try different watches. We use the virtual try-on technology. Or here on the last example, you have the Sally Hansen, how we are trying that with different nail colors. And so there are more than 600 brands already using this technology, mostly on their .com website. So when you go to that, before you get into the shopping cart and you try to learn more about the product, it's not just looking at a beautiful poster of a celebrity. You are able to see yourself, wearing that product. Other thing worth mentioning is the type of strategic partnership we have around the world. So here, all these big companies that you see there, they are also our partners. They use our technology. For example, Google use our technology in Google Search for virtual try-on. Snap is also an investor, a shareholder. Alibaba as well. Alibaba was our lead investor in the Series B when we were private, and Snap was the co-lead investor in the Series C, and they remain in our cap table after the IPO. So our technology power all these different omni-channel points, because it is very important for the beauty brands who are trying to offer that beauty tech solution that they have a cohesive experience across the 360 channels. So whether the consumer are in the store or online e-commerce or on their .com or in social media, when they are trying the color, the exact product, the exact SKU needs to look exactly the same, right? So the color has to be the true representation. So we have the same engine that control that to offer the user a consistent and cohesive experience across. And we are the only one in this market who can do that. Moving on a little bit on what we have been really busy on generative AI. There's more than 20 different projects in-house on generative AI. And here just want to show you a few that is already being launched. For example, how we use generative AI to create AI makeup transfer. So imagine a beauty user who are browsing Instagram, or they are watching, reading a magazine and see a celebrity wearing a new looks. And if she's wondering if her style will be matched to that look, she can just really take the phone, take one picture. For example, here you see for the reference picture, and the AI will analyze the patterns, the layering, the colors, and be able to recreate yourself. This is your own selfie wearing that color. So it's a very effortless way that you can try on 100 type of look just by using your phone camera. And then if you like that, of course, we can try to match with our product database so you can find which is the brand who are manufacturing that product, or even where you can buy it. Here, another example, how we are helping, for example, Tresemme, a brand for Unilever, to do generative AI for hairstyles. So this is a big commitment if you go to the hair salon and want to change your looks. Imagine you can do that just by simply using generative AI. So upload your own photo. We have more than 20 different styles that you can try. So the AI will actually keep your facial identity, you keep your body posture, and then we'll try to recreate you in a long wavy, even afro or pixie looks. So it's very, very fun. Or other use cases here, for example, how we're creating hair extension. Right, so you can see yourself, do I look better with a longer hair or a shorter hair? That the consumer make the Another big project we're working on is AI for fashions. We often have seen so many of the great pictures of apparel that you can buy online, but you always often wonder, would that fit my style better? I think previously there are other companies try to use that AR technology to to show you effects, but frankly speaking, none of them are really good. I think they are just natural barrier because why of that. I don't have time to go into the technical detail today, but what we try to solve this problem using a different approach, using generative AI approach. So you can see here, for example, we just need one image of whether a model wearing that or just a single piece of the jeans, of the dress, and the AI will understand what's the color, the fabric, what's the style, and you try to recreate not the exact same piece. And this is very important because using this technology, you don't need to have the burden to have all your pieces to go to a scanning facility to take a photo geometry scan, which is very slow, very costly, and not scalable. With this, we only need one image, which all of the e-commerce, e-tailers who are selling fashion apparel, they already have, right? So we just need one image to analyze their style and try to recreate that. The AI is getting smarter and smarter. So actually, you can see, if you see very closely, it's not the exact same piece, but it's about the same style. But as the AI learn more about the style, it gets more and more close to that. Other use cases, for example, we're able to take just one selfie and create AI headshots. I use that personally a lot for my speech, for my LinkedIn profile photos. I don't have time really to go to the studio anymore, so I do that, and it's really a time saving tool for me. Or even for more artistic look. Here is another example. I took it from my colleagues. So we just use 8 to 12 image, just regular selfie image that you take day to day. The AI will analyze that about your facial identity, and we can recreate yourself in a totally amazing, professional looks like. Even taking photo with cheetah and wolf that you probably wouldn't do it in the real life. But these are all created using generative AI. You actually even apply different style of makeup and different hairstyle, so you can recreate hundreds of them. And this is one of the reasons why consumer will pay for this type of app to create those artistic work that they can share socially or can keep it as an artwork. A few more minutes to talk about financial highlights. As I mentioned, we did 54 million last year. This quarter one, we did 14 million, about 18% growth year over year in this last reported quarter. The gross margin profile is about 81% last year. In this last reported quarter, it was about 78%. Again, we have the full filing available on SEC. You can download that for more details. In terms of our profitability, last year, our adjusted net income was about 7 million, about 13% in margin. The net income was about 4 million, 4.5 if I remember right. And this last reported quarter was 1.5 million, margin rate about 10.6%. Other thing that is very strong is the balance sheet. I didn't put here on the slide, but as of last reporting quarter, we hold about $154 million US cash in our balance sheet. So it's generating a lot of cash flow. In this last reported quarter one, generated about $3.5 million in operating cash flow. Last year, full year, it generated about a little bit over 13 million US dollar. So it is a very solid business, very strong financial discipline, and continues to grow. So with that, I think we'll leave a little bit of time for a Q&A. This is my last slide. Where do we go from here? Continue to deepen our penetration in the beauty groups. Although we are already servicing 600 brands, but globally there are more than 2,500. And I'm not counting the small indie brands and all these emerging brands that come up from every country, every region, almost every month. So it's a very huge market, still a lot of the runway to go. We're expanding our offering into skincare. So we are now addressing the med spa market, not only that, the aesthetic clinics market. So I have also solution to do your skin diagnosis and your skin concerns. And then widen our penetration in fashion and jewelries. You saw some of the example with some key leading brands. There are more to come. And then continue to innovate with generative AI features. And lastly, pursue with some synergetic M&A. Selectively, as I mentioned, we are sitting on a strong cash position, waiting to be deployed. I think we will always look into opportunity to accelerate the growth, expanding into new vertical market. So something that can leverage our platform and our access to our clients. So with that, that concludes my short presentation today, and I'll open for questions.
Great job, Louis. Yes, a few questions. Personally, if I wanted to see what I would look like with short hair, like you mentioned, you have to do the biometric facial recognition. So how do I know that my face will still be sovereign to my face? And what's your privacy issue there?
Yeah, so to clarify, we don't do facial neck recognition, right? So we do augmented reality. So we now using AI technology to identify different area. For example, this is the hair or this is your ear. Where do I put the earrings? But we don't collect biometrics data. We don't collect your personal identifiable data. So for example, if you go to, let's use the example, the Tresemme Unilever website to try the different hairstyle, you don't need to log in. You don't need to create that account. You just need to take a photo, and that processing, it happens locally. Most of the time, it happens locally using the local machines. If they needs to be uploaded into the cloud to use some cloud computing, you ask for your consent, and that data is never stored. It's deleted right after the experience.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll try it. So when it comes to your brand, what is the differentiating factors out there? Because there are so many like you. So what makes you stand out?
Yeah, so as I said in the beginning, in 2015, there were so many of them, and we were not the first one. Right? We were actually a latecomer in the game, but because of the AI technology and what we have, we were always able to offer a much more accurate experience. Before Perfect, the other experience that a competitor did, when you try to move your head, the lipstick color might end up in your chin, in your nose. The accuracy is not real time. Sometimes it's a photo experience, not even a live camera experience. So you take a photo, you almost like a photo brush it. You kind of Photoshop that experience. So it's not user friendly. The second thing is because we go very deep in the vertical beauty, we understand beauty. So for example, just for lipstick, we have more than 10 different textures. From matte to gloss to metallic to even holographic textures. So I think this is where we are very, very good at, to able to recreate the true to real effects. And you can imagine with all these big logo companies that they have tested every solution out there, and they all came to the same conclusion to use Perfect Corp for some reason. And I think the reason comes because of high accuracy. You work for all the different ethnicities. This is very important because of the diversity that we can encapture. Our technology is trained to work on Caucasian faces, on Asian faces, on all type of faces with different skin style and skin colors. So there's really a lot of these pieces together. And then our platform, our scale, I think is very important. Those big enterprises, when they choose partner to work with, I think very seldom they will work with a startup company. They need certain scale to facilitate and to use a solution globally. In more, our solution is deployed in more than 80 countries. So it is very important to have a scale of a team so you can support these big brands and then work with them very closely, because every season there's a new collection. There's a summer collection, there's a spring collections. So you really need to keep up the pace of innovation, because they are also innovating in terms of how the makeup product are evolving.
We have a question from Barry. He says you have 13 million consumer users. So how many of them are paying, and what's the average monthly fee?
Yeah, so we have 13 monthly active users and 900,000 of them are paying. Right? So I think it's about 8% of sales are paying users. The remaining 90, 91, 92% of them are the free users. I think it's pretty much aligned with what the industry are. As I mentioned, they're paying about $39 a year. Right, so majority of those paying users, they choose to pay the year plan because they get a discount. If they want to do the monthly, they can. It's going to be $5 per month.
And Sylvia Daniel asks, what is the cost to acquire a consumer customer? What does it cost on your end?
So majority of our users are organic growth, right? So we have been operating this business for 9 years. So we are not raising just a bunch of money and try to do a heavy user acquisition. So you rarely see us, heavily on advertising spend. So I think a lot of them come from the community that we have already built for these 9 years. It's a lot of word of mouth. We spend a lot on digital marketing. So if you look at our expense, I didn't have the time to talk about expense profile, right? So about 50% of our spend are going to sales and marketing, about 25% going to R&D. So sales marketing is a big part, but that both for enterprise business and consumer business. Enterprise business is more really about the sales team that we have globally. They are more traditional business developer, right? With this enterprise, you have to go and be on the floor and knock door by door and try to open that enterprise contract. On the B2C consumer side, it's much more digital marketing, SEO driven most of the time. Internal, user acquisition cost, we maintain a positive ROI. That's what we can say. So for every dollar that we spend, if we have to spend on the user acquisition, we make sure that the LTV return is more than what we spend.
Perfect. And Jonathan wants you to break this down. He says, with your 600 brands, how long do they stay with you? And what do they pay? Is it a flat fee? And can they pay extra to be a preferred brand or show up first?
So this is a SaaS solution. We have more than 20 different modules that they can subscribe. Brand, typically, our entry point to be an enterprise customer will have to be $50,000 per year. Right, so at least $50,000 per year, you are qualified to be an enterprise customer. Means you have a project manager, you have an account manager that you can call to. If you are less than that, we have also other services that are a little bit more lighter, are more self-service, a little bit lighter in feature. Then that is self-service. You don't have the dedicated contact. If you look at our top cohort, our top customer that has been with us for 4 or 5 years, on average, they're spending about $1.5 to $2 million per year. That means that they are concurrently using probably 6 to 8 different modules, right? Modules means the makeup virtual try-on is one module, skincare is another module. If they spend to nail color is another module. So the more functionality that they use, there's more upsell opportunity. And that's how we grow our business together with the brands. Complete filing, investor can find out more metrics about NDRR, our retention rate. I can very briefly speak about that. The enterprise business retention rate is excellent. It's very well. It's around 90%. So every year about 10% will churn. A majority of that churn is typically a very small customer that they don't really know how to use technology. Most of our big enterprise, Estee Lauder, the Shiseido, has been with us for many, many years, and the renewal rate has been phenomenal. So I think this is a very sticky business, as any enterprise SaaS business are. So we always, of course, have built hopefully a very well and strong moat to protect this business. And so far, the result seems to be that way. Our innovation, we generate new modules every while, and then offer that as an upsell to the brand. So maybe they're already using that in certain geography. One thing that I mentioned, the $50,000 is a very small initial order. It is something that they license for, let's say, one country for one functionality. If the brand, they are multinational and they're spending across the continents, or they want to go global, they will always end up paying somewhere between $200,000 to $300,000 per year per module. And it's really depending on how many product lines they have, different modules that they need to use, and we have these compounding effects to create more revenue scale.
Perfect. Thank you for that answer. A question from Floyd. He's talking about your verticals. What can be added? You have beauty, clothing, accessories. What else can be done with your technology? Colors, furniture, landscape? What's your vision for the future?
Right. We still consider ourselves as a startup, which means that we remain laser focused. So we go industry one after another. So instead of expanding too widely, too quickly, we try to focus, nail down in one, dominate one, and expand. So, in the big theme that we want to focus is about the female shoppers, right? This is what we are very good at, starting from beauty, and why we're spending to fashion, because we see this is a big opportunity. Of course, we also have consumer and a few brands that are more for male consumers, but the majority, bulk of that is for female. So, now that we're doing watch and jewelry, I don't think it will be a surprise to see us going into handbags, shoes, scarf, right? Everything that woman typically shops. I mean, there's a lot of those different brands, and I think the technology can be scalable, right? We started with face, now we are doing that more hands. We're now doing that for shoulder, for your neck, for necklace, and then more and more. Probably furniture or gaming maybe a little bit too far for us at the moment. So as a company with 300 plus people, we want to stay more focused in this arena that I just mentioned.
Perfect. And last question for you. Talk a little bit about some of the growth drivers in B2B and the B2C business for you.
Yeah, I think the B2B is really the structural tailwind going on in the industry for the last 5-7 years, if not longer, about digital transformation. Because the brands, typically, they are not very digital savvy. Certainly, they don't have in-house capability to do that, to develop that. So they need a strong partner, right? And I think because we've been there and won so many trust from all these big logos and big brands, it really gives those brands the confidence to. And so the entire sales cycle, for example, has been shortened, right? In the beginning, when we were doing this business, the brand wouldn't understand the solution. It would take them a lot of time to evaluate. Now that they know more than 600 brands already using them, most of them, their competitors, they move very quickly. right? So I think that is one of the key drivers. Is about the peer pressure, is about the understanding. The consumer is shopping less in retail, offline, shopping more online. What kind of technology will really facilitate that conversion? I think virtual try-on really, there's no really downside to that becoming the table stake. On the consumer side, I think the key driver is it's a trend. It's a mega trend that consumer used to use free apps for everything. Now, almost every app asks you to pay for a subscription, right? We all have that experience. And I think that's fueling the innovation and fueling the development, cost funding about that. So I think it's not only US, it's more than 10, 12 countries, no more, that we started to see consumers are much more open to pay a monthly or annual fee to unlock real good features. And that is continuing to grow. There's a huge middle class, a huge population that haven't really consumed digital goods yet. And I feel that this is going to be a mega change.
Wonderful. Well, Louis, thank you so much for joining us on the conference. We hope you come back in the future with some updates.
Thank you, Anna.
All right, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back with IntelliBridge.